to Madison.
Oh, classic Flatbush schools, huh?
And my brother went to E Hall, and my sister went to Lafayette.
Okay, she went a little. I went out that way. I'm from Junction sides, but I went out to Lincoln. I didn't go to.
Okay.
You know, I grew up on them sides, but okay. Well, let me see. Let me ask you this, because we shooting a documentary, and a lot of the stuff that we dealing with is like just Flatbush and what makes us so dope. You know what I mean? Like it's like people like you that's been all over. People like all of us, just catching up with everybody is so difficult. So if you can describe Flatbush to somebody that never been, and what makes you you in your time that you came up in the bush.
It's so multicultural in the sense of islands, and to me, being, you know, obviously we're in America, right? So we're getting that American way of living, but we're still very Caribbean. So we have like the best of both worlds. And even for Americans, they get what we have.
Exactly.
Feel me?
Exactly.
So it's like I would never take that away. But nothing in the world. I lived in Brownsville. I lived in Bed-Stuy. But you know, I spent my entire life pretty much, you know, I lived in Brownsville for 2 years, in Bed-Stuy, you know, Bushwick. But the upbringing that I got in Flatbush is none other. I mean, I grew up fast. You know, I was raised by some boys. So you know, all the rallies was outside. I was outside. My whole block was all guys pretty much. So, you know, I learned a lot quick. So there's not much you could teach me. Not much you could teach me. Any experience any nigga had, I had to. Like,
you seem like a real go-getter, right? You seem like a super entrepreneur, right? How much of that do you attribute to that?
What the fuck? I'm sorry. The baby was screaming. What you said?
How much of that do you attribute to that? Like, how much do you attribute to your upbringing and being outside?
I mean, I think that I think me being myself, along with what I was taught and knowing the streets and just not being scared, a lot. I'm just, you know, I watched, you know, not to put nobody's names out, but I watched some people on Jerk Chicken, you know, how they give it up. You know, if you know that block, you know,
that
that's
corner very well.
A block of hustlers. So, you know, I watched Fast Money. I watched my brother, just, you know, I watched my cousins come up in that era, and I wanted that money. I wanted that, you know, and I'm just basically just not scared. So it all came from pretty much seeing and then being who I am, applying both and just going to get it. And I turned that into positive, and then
kept it pushing.
That's it. Kept it pushing.
That's what's up. We have a thing we do too called we have like Flatbush stories. I don't know if you've been seeing the Flatbush stories.
No, I don't think I have.
We have a couple. It's like we have some people that have stories about hooky parties and people jumping out of dollar vans, and we got fights. We was talking with Chip Fu last night. He was talking about fights at concerts and all kind of crazy shit. You got any Flatbush stories? A Flatbush story?
I have a million Flatbush stories. I was just telling one yesterday. Did you see my Flatbush story? Actually, it was Flatbush that turned into Crown Heights, but it started off on Church Avenue at Lucky's Yard. You remember Lucky's Yard?
I remember.
Okay, so back then I just had a son. I was 15 at the time, but I was hanging out with a lot of dudes that were older, a lot older than me. And I'm just guys getting money outside. And I don't know. I don't even know. I knew these guys actually from my sister. So all of the Pinnacles and the ETs and all you know, those are my sister's people. I'm her little sister.
Gotcha.
But now I'm being fast. I got a baby. I'm outside. I'm with one of the craziest niggas, Jamaicans, that was outside at that time in that area. So we're outside. We're at this party, and I don't remember how it happened or what the exchange was, but I just remember the dude I was with just taking his gun out and just busting in the air. So he's licking. Blah, blah, blah. I got my girlfriend from the 8th floor with me, who's not like me at all. She's not outside.
She ready to make moves.
She was the girl that was outside playing double dutch, and I just convinced her to come outside with me. She's a little older, so now we're outside, and we're at this party. He's busting, and I'm like, come on. I grab my hand. Now he's like pulling me, so now I'm pulling her. His man is coming. Now we're all just, get into the car because now everybody's just busting. It's mayhem in there. People are literally piling up on top of each other. People are like
classic
literally
Flatbush shit.
People are hiding under speakers. It's gravel. It's a yard. We outside. We get in the car, and as soon as we go to pull off, he hides the gun in the sunroof. So that was like the thing back then. So he hides the gun in the sunroof. He goes to pull off.
Hold up. Do you remember what kind of car it was?
A Maxima.
I was about to say, I knew you was going to say a Maxima or fucking Cressida. I knew you was going to say that.
It was a round one. So it was a new body style Maxima at that time.
I got you.
So we drive off, and as we drive off, the D's, what we thought was the D's were behind us. They pull us, sirens, regular shit. We get out, the guy comes over. He tells us to get out the car. He's searching the V. He don't find nothing, but he knows that the dude that we was with started busting. He knew he went back to that car. He saw everything. So he gets in the car. He's looking, he's searching. He can't find it because nobody knew about that stash spot back then. So remember, the car's new, so nobody can do it.
Yeah, that was a fresh thing at them times.
So now he's like, I'm taking y'all down to the precinct. So homeboy, I think he ended up like running.
It's 6-7 precinct?
No. Let me tell you what ended up happening. It wasn't 6-7. He started driving around into Crown Heights. So then it became 77. Right? All right. So we're driving all around Flatbush, by the way. But before that happens, he goes to pull off, right, in the car. And as he hits the brake, the gun slides forward. Boom. So now I'm like, fuck. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, fuck. His man, my homegirl, and me, and I'm just like, fuck. I want to run. I'm in my head, I'm running out this car. But my homegirl's not with the shits at all. She's not with it. I'm with it. I'm used to this type of shit.
Ready to make a move.
Not to dash. But she's like, I'm like, if I leave her, she's going to hate me forever. And then she's going to tell my mother. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just trying to think. I'm like, come on, let's just run out the car. She's not with it. So now he's driving. They find a gun. Now he's just like, oh, I'm taking y'all down. This nigga is driving us through Brooklyn, through Flatbush.
Who, the police?
The police.
D-Tex?
Listen. This story is so interesting.
What?
So now he's driving. As he's driving, he goes to spin the block. The brakes give out completely. There's no brakes in the car. Now we're just like, he's spinning, trying to stop the car from moving. So he's spinning the block. The car's not slowing down. I'm like, fuck this. I'm really jumping out the car. I don't give a fuck. I go to open the door. It's not even opening. Now he ends up, boom, hitting the car. So now he calls. Now remember, he was with somebody in the back. They're still behind us. They come out the car. We get in that car. They drive us to the 77th precinct. He calls a cop outside. After we crashed, he just left the car sitting right there. Let me tell you, this shit just got real crazy. Takes us to 77th precinct. Now we're standing outside, and a cop comes outside. He's talking to the cop, telling the cop whatever. The cop comes outside, now has us come inside. They got us in a holding cell. The cop is now asking us, who is the guy? We're like, I don't know. He said he's a cop from Flatbush or whatever.
Your friend from the 8th floor is still with you?
She's still with me. She's crying. She's nervous. We locked up at this point. We in the 77 precinct in the holding cell. So now what the cop is like, explain to me what happened. And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Whatever. Long story short, he's not a cop. He was never a cop. He was never a fucking cop.
What do you mean?
He wasn't a cop. He was like a CO. He was a CO. He never took his badge out. He just had the chain on. Yo, wild us up at 6 in the morning. When I tell you I didn't get home, my mother beat the shit out of me when I came home. I was gone all day, all night, 24 hours damn near.
But
ordeal.
But was it valid though? So
no, they let us go.
They had to.
Because he never gave him a gun. What are you even talking about? Like, what are you even talking about? He skated with the gun. Yo, shit. I swear you have to be there to believe me.
That is classic Flatbush right there. Yo, I'm so glad y'all beat that.
Yo, listen. Turns out they tell us that we need to go to internal investigation. That guy's not a cop. We have to go file a report on this guy so they can investigate him. He's been doing this for a minute. He does it. He robs.